to the Wager Makers Podcast with Web and Smitt.
Brick by brick, baby. I'm freaking out, Web.
I was told there'd be no man. Stupidity's going to be an asset. What a bunch of crybabies.
Hello, my name is Steve Smith, and this is Rob Weber. Say hey, Web.
Hello. What's up, Smith?
What's up, Web? I'm Smith. That's Web, and we are the Wager Makers. This is the Wager Maker Podcast. Thank you all for joining us. Happy to be here. We got a big week ahead. We got douchebags as usual. We got tons of things to talk about. I don't know if we
douchebaggery about
say douchebags every time we come on the air, but we'll have to. If anybody's up for a better name than that, we'll call it winners, losers. I don't know what.
No, we're not doing that. We're not there. That's a very tough. It's very appropriate. It's very hard to beat douchebag when we get into the subject matter that we're talking about. So
it is, and there's slam dunks this week. But Web, this is Wager Maker Podcast number 92.
92. Time flies. Again, I'm back in the garage. 92 was an easy couple ones popped to my mind right away. Tony Tolbert always got some Cowboy love on me. He was a defensive end, I think, or defensive tackle on those Cowboys teams in the 90s. He's always kind of hurt, but he was one of the players I liked back in the day. But you got to give it up to Reggie White, I guess, the minister of defense. I don't really have too much of a problem. I think most people probably remember him as a Packer versus an Eagle, which works for me. And the thing is, I mean, that was one of the first big free agent deals back in the day. That was one and it really changed, it really put the Packers on the map. And it's funny, he started out playing on like the fucking Houston Gamblers or something like that.
Yeah, maybe in the USFL for sure.
Yep.
Dallas Stars, maybe it was Houston. I'm not sure. Is it Dallas? What?
No,
not Dallas Stars. What's the Baltimore? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it was Baltimore. Yeah, one of those teams. That's funny. Yeah, one of those teams. Definitely. I think the Houston Gamblers were Jim Kelly, I think.
I was looking up Reggie White today because obviously when number 92 came up right away, I thought
L.A.
about
Express
him.
with Steve Young.
So let's see.
Herschel Walker was New Jersey
Generals here just so we can take a look. The Memphis Showboats.
Memphis Showboats. Close. Gamblers, Showboats, same thing.
And then he was in the 1984 supplemental draft by the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, we know him. Northeast guys, NFC East guys. We know, the minister of defense real well from Philadelphia Eagle days. Obviously, glad he could go to Green Bay later on and get himself a Super Bowl ring. Known as one of the real good guys in the game, well known, well liked in every locker room, a leader, all the things. He passed away early.
Yeah,
right?
Something like that. Yeah, and the thing with him was, I remember that was when John Madden was big. So Madden and Summerall were doing the games. That's when Madden, before it came a little, sticky or a little over the top. And Madden was always doing the big games. And Penny's always like a hump move or something like that. So it was it's fond memories of those days. But again, as a Packer, not an Eagle.
Right, great guy. Seemed like, as far as we know, but dominant.
Oh, he was good.
Like,
yeah.
As good as there's been, to be honest, is
defensive tackle. Yeah,
defensive tackle, as good as theres been. So when you can just remember him like one-handed throwing offensive linemen out of the way,
exactly.
Just so many views like that. Yeah. So Webb, maybe we can get right into the things we looked at this week. I was trying to. It didn't take long to find the douchebags.
You never have to worry. They pop up all over.
Oh, right? They're everywhere. And Eagles fans should be really happy today. The Eagles, Philadelphia, whether you're Sixers, Philly, Flyers, Eagles, should be very happy today, because when the week started out, my thought was douchebags. Philly fans are douchebags. That was my thought. Okay, that's where the show was going to go. It was going to blatantly wreck Eagles, Jets, Sixers fans.
Eagles, right?
Fans,
not Jets.
Yeah, whatever. Green teams.
Right. Yeah.
Green.
Right.
Eagles, Sixers, Flyers, anything Philadelphia. So it started out for me anyway, we talked about this last week a little bit with the crowd at the PGA Championship.
Yeah.
And how it got borderline you know,
it got a little
where it
hairy
got
there on
uncomfortable.
18.
Definitely got
Yes,
uncomfortable.
right,
where if
right.
you were a professional athlete out there, it would have been a rough situation.
Right.
So, sure enough, I think it was sad. Like within a day or two of our doing a podcast, Westbrook, I think, got hurt or was walking off into the locker room.
Westbrook on the Wizards, Washington Wizards, yes.
Right. So the Sixers fan dumps popcorn out of the stands from him.
Yeah, dumps popcorns on him. Yeah.
Yep. So there, like, I'm like, you know, when did we get to the point as a society when look, me and you, we've both been the drunk guy at the game.
Hell yeah, more than
many
one.
times. We've been the drunk. We've been the guy at the game that's the drunk guy. You know, the drunk guy. Oh, look at drunk ass over there. We've been that guy many times.
Oh, sure.
But when did it become where dudes think that they can touch or throw something at a dude? I don't understand. We've never, you know, we've said some things in the stands, but never.
We said yes. I mean, listen, anything you want to bring up that is in terms of the game, you could say you suck. You could say you're overpaid. You're fucking lazy. You can't shoot. Whatever you want to say. Anything in the realm of playing. You could even, I mean, in terms of Kyrie, you could say the earth is round. You fucking lunatic. Whatever you wanted to say. Once you start, first of all, throwing things, anything, a piece of popcorn, a tissue, whatever, a feather, whatever you wanted to, you know, something as innocuous or whatever is that you've certainly cried. And then if you start saying stuff about someone's family, someone's race, someone's religion, blah blah blah, I don't know where where do we get where does that come from and why is that a thing? I don't get it. You know,
I have some thoughts on that, but we'll get to that in a second.
Okay,
but I want to say for the Philadelphia fans out there, the Phillies and all of them, that now you got bailed out because every day that went by, something else happened at a different city.
Escalated, right?
Another dumbass, another douchebag. So basically I think the day after that, I see a video, which might have happened the day before, of a dude, a Knicks fan, trying to spit on Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah. And not only that, there was like, who was in there? There was like Julianne Moore. Wasn't there like a couple celebrities in Celebrity Row that got like shrapnel from it?
Right.
So not only are you spitting on, you know, this intended target, but now you're spitting on just a general public. And at this point, Dave, that's assault, man. I think all these guys should be prosecuted, lifetime bans, even going back to, I mean, anything. If you have any type of communicable disease, you know, I don't want someone's cold. I don't want someone's whatever. Be spitting on me. And
especially in today's day and age, we just got allowed out the fucking house.
Right.
We're just allowed out to play. It's like your mom lets you go out to play after being grounded, and you go out and do the same shit.
Yep. Yeah, it's very.
And we're all gonna get grounded again if you shut.
Yep. Everyone else getting shut. Yeah. No more fans. No more fans.
We just got allowed to fucking go in the game. So I'm like, man, first of all, and so that's a Knicks fan does that. So it's like, all right, well, maybe it's some kind of Northeast. Well, actually, the next one I'm talking about is Northeast. But another thing for Knicks fans, because you were going to go on the douchebag. We're going douchebag fans. Right now, they're
fans. All fans.
Right now, the Knicks are losing 3-1 in their series against Atlanta, I believe.
Right. Yes, that's correct. They play tonight.
After game 1. The New York fans went out on the streets and did like a half-ass fucking March Riot fucking thing or something.
Right.
Like
they won playoff
the
game.
Championship, which you shouldn't do that if you win the championship anyway.
Not if you're the New York. No.
I get it's been a long time since you've been there, Knicks. But now it's 3-1. You know how stupid you look? Celebrating the game. First of all, you lost the first game of the series. Right. And then you come back and win game 2. So you split your home 2 games, so you really lost nothing to celebrate. You're not going to get. You're celebrating not getting swept.
Right. Yes. Right. You won a playoff game. One.
It's a series. This is a series. I don't know. Maybe it's been so long since the Knicks played, they don't know.
Right. They thought it was over.
Maybe it's like LaRussa in the bubble. Like he's playing bubble rules. He doesn't really know how the playoffs work.
Know what happens.
The last time he was around. They were different
rules. It was different rules. Right.
Okay, so all right, so it's like, oh shit. Well, I can't just lambaste. I would have loved to sat here for 45 minutes and talk shit about Philadelphia fans.
Well, Knicks fans and Philly fans. Yeah. Oh yeah, you and me both.
Okay, So here come Knicks fans right behind them.
Bail them right out, right off the hook.
Bail out the Eagles, bail out the Sixers fans.
Yep.
Right off the bat.
All Philly. New York bails out Philly.
So then the Nets obviously playing this series against the Celtics. And Kyrie, Kevin Durant both made comments about how people in Boston are racist, everything.
Yes.
I'm saying, man, that's a pretty blanket statement going on. It's kind of unfair to the fans. There, to our credit, we always take up for the fans. We always call out the douchebag players. Always.
9 times out of 10.
Always.
Yep.
We call out the high-priced douchebag douchebag players, and we take the sides of the fans.
Of the regular Joe. Yep.
Sure enough, we get to Boston. Now Kyrie did stomp on the head of the mascot or something like that, but who cares? It's on a court. And what's stomping? He stepped on a piece of the floor. He probably ran up and down the guy's face 100 times.
Right. He's run up and down on it every day.
Right.
It's a leprechaun. They don't exist.
Right. Sure enough, here comes the douchebag 40-year-old dude in a fucking Boston Celtics tank top running out onto the fucking court like a goddamn jackass.
Embarrassing for the rest on video for the rest of his life. Fucking 40 years old. Not 14, 40.
Right. Making a fool of all of us 50-year-old white fan guys.
Yep.
Making us all look like a bunch of dumb fucks.
Yep. Drunk, Irish, any stereotype you want to throw in there.
Yep.
Way to represent Boston after you're trying to take the high road. These guys saying stuff that it's a shit town.
What a cool look at 45 with a fucking Boston Celtics tank fucking top on.
Right.
The only time you get a pass is at a game for that.
Right.
To wear a fucking grown man's jersey as a grown man. But then look, I wear jerseys the big game. I got to put on the jersey. The big game, not every game. Right. Just the real playoffs. Sometimes I'll bust out the jersey.
I ain't wearing no fucking jersey.
So I mean, come on, man. Come the fuck on. So I was gonna jump on the Eagles fans, Philly fans.
Yep.
And just where did we get to the point, Webb, when people think it's okay to, and I'm gonna tell you what I think, but just people think it's okay to get involved in the shit and to touch dudes.
Let me ask you this. And one of the things that Tristan Thompson said about the spinning incident, I guess it all got brought up, obviously, because every game some fucking stupid shit happens. So he's like, if some dude spits on me, I'm following him home, which I thought was a great comment. So let's see, what's this leprechaun going to do in the jersey if he sees Kyrie or Kevin Durant or whomever out after the game, out sitting? Is he going to throw a water bottle? Hell no, he ain't throwing a water bottle at him. Is some dude going to throw something at Russell Westbrook? Hell no. Is some dude going to try to spit on Trae Young? Hell no. So
that's what Westbrook basically said in his post-game press conference. He's like, look, man, we got to be protected because this shit wouldn't happen out in the real world.
Oh, hell no.
He's like, that shit wouldn't go down. The dude wants to throw popcorn on me and talk about my fucking children out in the fucking street. This shit isn't going down like this. And he's absolutely right. Have you seen an NBA fucking player?
Right.
Anyone. Pick the smallest one you want.
Right.
Their shoulders are out the fucking here.
Oh, yeah. And
their arms, they can punch you from across the fucking room.
Yeah.
You're gonna throw. You're gonna be out the club and throw something at one of these dudes.
Yeah, right.
Come on, man. And I think, Webb, it's all about this. We talk a lot about social media and the internet and all this shit. And there's this. To me, I think there's this. They call them, on social media, the keyboard warriors.
I got what you're saying.
They're badasses all the time on the keyboard because we've gotten a way to where if you can say something to somebody and you're not going to get your ass beat.
Right.
When we grew up, if you said something inappropriate to somebody standing across from you, you got fucking knocked out.
Right. Well, you got to fight.
Nowadays it's dudes on the computer.
Right. Yeah. They're
saying all this shit in their mom's basement. In their mom's basement, talking shit. And so, and now everybody wants to be part of the show, with the Instagram and TikTok and everything. It's not enough to just sit there and watch the greatest athletes in the world play a sport. What about nobody's watching me? Right. Nobody's watching me. I got to get involved. If I dump popcorn on Westbrook, they're going to see. I'm going to be a fucking. I'm going to go viral. I'm going to go viral.
I'm going to get some followers. I'll get some likes.
I think it's just disgusting in our society today. This need of wanting to be seen. Look, like I say, like people been cooped up. I'll give them a little bit of little props for that.
No excuse for that. Like you said,
these dudes, I mean, you're a fucking sorry motherfucker if you feel like you can do that to somebody when you know that they can't retaliate.
Right, absolutely. It's like picking on, right? It's picking on someone. I don't even know. Like it's just like someone who's tied up or so, poking an animal that's in a zoo or some shit.
I was gonna say animal in a zoo. I didn't want to go down a road because nowadays it's hard to say. But I think even Durant said something like it's not a fucking. We're not show.
Right,
whatever,
right.
Like we're fucking people here.
Right.
And it's up to the leagues to protect these guys in the stadiums, but at the same time, fans.
Well, what
are you supposed to do? You can't watch every dumb ass.
You're gonna put up what? Mesh? You're gonna put up a fence? What are you gonna do?
Ruin it for all of us because of these few dumb douchebags.
And that's this fucking asshole and this douchebag in Boston. Now all of a sudden Kyrie Irving's a sympathetic figure. I mean, he's up there as douche. We can go to him. He's our default douchebag of the week. And now we got now he's right.
Now we're like, oh, sorry, Kyrie, you were right. Boston fans are fucked up, man.
Now I got to defend him. Be like, damn, dude was right. He knows what he's talking about.
Kyrie called the shit right out.
Yep. The dude just played right into it. I mean, that's come on, man. Come on, man.
So I mean, that's our douchebag of the week is just these fans, man. It's unreal. I was the first one, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a good show, Web.
I can't wait.
We're gonna fucking dominate the fucking Philadelphia.
That's right.
And then there go the Knicks. I mean, it's just, man, oh man, it just and so that's our ones of the week here. But
all right, let's do something on the flip side, Smith. We tried to do some accentuate a little positive last week, a guy of the week or a something of the week. So I text you something a little while. I heard something funny on the way home from work or whatever today. I'm gonna give big ups to Charles Barkley. He's gonna get our dude of the week or whatever, or realist.
He won last week too. He got an honorable mention last week as well. But we love him this week.
The real dude of the week or whatever. So I'm listening. Like, you know what, Charles? I was watching one of the shows. Like, you know what Charles Barkley calls the quote was, "They're not gonna win if street codes don't play." And I was like, what the fuck? And he could be talking about anything, Barkley. I'm like, what the fuck's he talking about? And then the interview, they kind of gave it some more context. He goes, oh, yeah, without Anthony Davis, a.k.a. Street Clothes, they're never going to win this series. It's the greatest name in the world. It's the greatest, most appropriate, spot-on thing I've heard in a long time. So good. I love it, Charles. Sir Charles.
We used to have a very special nickname for Anthony Davis, who was LeBron's bitch, but I think Street Clothes is way better. Because it's clean, you can say it in front of the kids. Yeah, you can do. Your mom and pop can listen to the podcast, and you can call them Street Clothes.
I think it even hurts. It stings more. It's less it's less vindictive, so therefore it even hurts even more.
And it's spot on, which makes it even worse.
Well, it really stings, right? That really stings.
Yeah, ours is over the top a little bit. Street Clothes. Hey, man. Call it like a C. Right. I mean, the dude now all of a sudden the Lakers are one game away from. And now look, and the announcers last night were basically writing off the Lakers. They're a long way from being written off. All they got to do is win 2 games. But it was the Suns put it on them last night without Anthony Davis with his groin. I mean, how the fuck? How do you?
I'm saying he's out. LeBron is out, right? And then I think AD is.
Well, LeBron was out with 5. We can talk about that too. LeBron was out last night with 5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, so they're saying
out of the state, not out of the stadium, but
yeah,
off the court.
I don't understand. It's another thing that we could go on about. I mean, I don't want to bang on LeBron. We gave him clearly there's something going on in LA because that should not happen. That's weird that happened. And it's funny how Frank Vogel last year was the greatest coach, and now all of a sudden you can't. It's funny how that happens when your players don't play for you. I don't know. The NBA, the West is tough. I mean, who's he going to give a favor to? Who's going to come out of there? Let's assume the Lakers lose. Who are you going to give?
Right now it's just probably the Jazz or the Suns. I mean, I think, but easily Denver could be right there.
Yeah.
If they get past Portland because they're having all they can handle with Portland too.
Yeah. So. Djokovic is unbelievable though. I mean, he's crazy.
Well, we talked about without Murray, it's tough. It's going to be like really
very
tough.
Well, to win another series.
You need a 2-headed monster at least in the NBA to really contend, but we'll see.
That would be interesting. I mean, I guess at this point in the East, it's a very easy choice. Embiid, yet again, that's another guy that we could come up. He can call. He's Street Clothes Jr. over there. So we could definitely go with. It's very easy to go against the Nets. So I'm going to take the Bucks. That series is going on. I think starts tomorrow, whenever it starts. And then I don't know. I guess I'll take the Jazz, and so it's Bucks and the Jazz in the final. The Suns are tough, though.
All right. Well, I took a futures final on the Suns. So
looking real good now.
When they drew the Lakers, I wasn't real thrilled that they'd have to deal with that in the first round. But man, if they can get through this series, and again, the Lakers could easily come back and win 2 games. All they got to do is win 1, and then there's a game 7. And
then anything could happen. Yeah, I mean, injuries are a big deal, but there's no way they're winning. If LeBron ain't playing, they ain't winning.
No, not if LeBron's. I can't imagine LeBron not playing in this game. But anyway, I feel like if the Suns are able to knock off the Lakers, that would just be such a real propeller into the next round.
Oh, they'll be flying high.
If you're the team that takes, especially if they do it in 6 or something like that, and really take, so that would really propel them a little bit. I think in the East, obviously the Bucks, the 3 teams, the Bucks, the Sixers, and the Nets. We love anybody that wants to knock off the Nets. Please be our guest and knock them off.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yep. So that's that. All right. Yeah, that nickname, I think that's going to even stick more than LeBron's bitch.
Oh, I think is even better.
How the fuck you go through all this? And I mean, from now on, he'll ever be known to me as the bubble champ only.
Oh yeah,
you don't get it done. He's a bubble champ. And we said going in, hey, whoever's the champ in this bubble is the champ. Everybody went through it, whatever. But because we hate him so much, we're going to call him the bubble champ. Only a bubble champ. Because he'll never win one without LeBron. If he's the number 1 dude, he's never winning it.
We said it. We were going back and forth the other day. If he may win, he could be like the missing piece that Dwight Howard was for the Lakers last year. He'll be the dude that's old and played around, and he gets picked up, and either gets waived or gets like they trade his contract to some contender that needs somebody to get over the top. He ain't no lead dog. Ain't no way.
Like you said it perfectly. He ain't no dog.
No.
He ain't no dog.
No.
And that's what they talking about him being a top 5 player. He ain't no dog. Not even close.
He can't even qualify games wise. I mean, it's just crazy. Yeah. Right.
All right. And Webb, thanks for that oven mitts comment last week. I no longer can watch a guy at first base getting ready to steal.
Everybody
without thinking he's wearing oven mitts.
Oven mitts. It's like from the movie Earmuffs. What's that movie? What's the movie when the guys join they make the
Old School?
Old School, yeah. When Vince Vaughn tells his kid earmuffs. Yeah, earmuffs. Oven mitts, earmuffs.
Yeah. So then talking about, I was going to talk about like players and what their responsibility is, Webb, to the media, to talking to media. We gave Kyrie a hard time when he didn't talk to the media. If you got some kind of legit anxiety issue or depression issue, I guess we ain't talking about you, but I'm getting into the world of women's tennis here.
Yeah, Naomi Osaka.
Osaka basically refused to do any press conferences. She makes at the French Open and actually got fined a little bit and bailed out of the French Open this week. And she made, I think last year, Webb, $55 million. And again, if you have legit, like I think Ricky Williams had dealt with this a little bit when he was a player here at the Saints too. But if you got legit, like, I guess anxiety issues or whatever with dealing with press, that's one thing. But what is a player's? I mean, to me, part of getting that $55 million is promoting the brand and promoting your brand, and part of that is being microphones in the face all day, every day.
I mean, that $55 million, I think, was just from tennis alone. That doesn't include what she gets from any endorsements. What she's sponsored by somebody, that's got to be $1 million right there. So there's a hell of a lot more that springs. That's the springboard to a shit ton more money. Is just the tennis. Now you want to ask what the responsibility is. They're contractually obligated. Listen, if you have an illness, we take mental illness very seriously. Any type of affliction, whatever. But then, typically people who have those types of afflictions don't make $55 million. It's a hindrance. So here's the deal. If you want the money, Wager Makers Express coming by. If you want to live that lifestyle and do that, and it's weird because, first of all, how can you go out and play tennis in front of, first of all, it's on every TV channel, so there's a billion people watching, and then you're playing at the U.S. Open's 30,000, or I don't know how many, at least 15,000 people in the stands. So you can do that, but then you can't go sit and walk out from there and sit in a room with 30 people that are basically throwing you softball. She's not getting interrogated. This isn't the New York media, going after Billy Martin, or the Philadelphia media attacking, Carson Wentz or something. It's not like, they're asking her basic, about the match and what she thinks. It's not this big thing. It's 10 or 15 minutes total. Again, I have tremendous sympathy for anybody who has any type of affliction, but then you just can't make the money. If you're contractually obligated, you got to do it. And if you don't, then drop out. And if you signed a contract, you said you're going to play, you don't play, you're going to get fined. So now we'll see what happens when she doesn't get paid. And, I would doubt that she's been an advocate for this type of stuff for a long time. But listen, you can be an advocate. You can go on your social media and do that. I don't understand why you can't be both. Same thing with Kyrie. Why, if you want to talk about war overseas, you certainly have a big enough platform to do that. You don't have to use your press conference at an NBA game to do that. So listen, it's tough, but it's very simple. If you have an affliction, it's a hindrance in terms of your life. So you're probably not going to make $100 million.
Right. So, but when you already made $55 million last year, and probably 50 the year before that, and 45 the year before that.
Well, here you go.
Okay, well, it might be time for me to go. But if you love the game so much, that's going to be the issue. You know what I mean?
Well, then just play. You don't need to play in these tournaments. Just go play. Go play tennis.
Right.
I got a tennis court right down the street from my house. What I'm saying? You love hoops? I got a hoop right here. Here's a ball.
To me, it's we're not, if you got some real issues, that's one thing. People have that shit. But if it's just an inconvenience to you, or you get tired of answering questions or any other bullshit,
even if I don't really like flying on a plane, I get some pretty fucked up anxiety from that. But if am I not going to go? That's when I get off the plane, I calm down. And that's it. Like, she can't be uncomfortable or anxious for 20 minutes or 15 minutes. For 55, for wherever the money is. I mean, I don't know. And I'm not trying to, again, if she doesn't want to play, she doesn't have to. That's the other. I mean, I guess my flip side. It's okay, just don't play then. And that's fine. No one's making you play tennis.
Right. Well, fair enough. She didn't play this week. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out.
Right.
Pretty sure we'll see her back. She's the number one player in the world right now, I believe, as far as I know.
Well, I'm sure if she was the, 100th player, there would have been no big deal if she dropped.
Nobody would give a shit.
Right. Of course.
Right. So I think now in the French Open, Serena's moving along. And the first time I remember seeing this girl, which is funny, is I think it was against Serena.
Yes.
And she beat her. It might have been the U.S. Open.
It was.
A couple years ago. And basically what happened in that match was it was one of Serena. People knew it was the kind of the on the backside of Serena's career. Maybe she was just recently back from having baby. Something happened like that, and there was a bad call by the ref, and Serena kind of went off, and it kind of changed the match. And so after it was all over with, this girl Osaka just beat Serena Williams,
right? By no fault.
I think it was the U.S. Open.
It was in New York, yeah.
And everybody went running over to Serena to ask her because Serena really went off on the ref, like uncharacteristically, made a spectacle out of the whole thing. And so when Osaka won, nobody wanted to talk to her.
Right, no one cared. Right.
They all wanted to hear about what Serena's. Even this girl just knocked her off to be the champ. And I just remember that I felt really bad for her that day. And I just wonder if maybe some of that led up to her anxiety.
I did
dealing
hear
with the media.
I heard that being mentioned. Yeah, Serena completely stole the thunder. It was almost like an afterthought that she got upset by this young up and coming kid. So, again, she's not obligated. If she doesn't want, okay, it's fine. You have some anxiety issues. You don't want to talk to media. That's fine. You just don't be in the spotlight. No one's condemning her for her issues, but you can't have both.
Right. So we're going to keep it in women's sports for a minute. Don't say we're not equal opportunity.
By the way, the French Open's been good to me, Smith. I think I'm like 6-2 in the French Open.
Well, that's good, but it's time to start brushing up on our LPGA.
Oh, that's right.
The Ladies Professional Golfers Association just had a big deal with BetMGM. So I believe it's going to be a much bigger deal betting on women's golf.
Nice. I love it.
So I enjoy watching it. Nothing looks better than, like the women's golf outfit.
Yeah,
the country club, the country club outfit. It's a good outfit, especially these girls do a lot of walking.
Oh yeah.
But next best thing, it's the next best thing to a tennis uniform for women, or but maybe like beach volley. Look, I'm going down a rabbit hole here. I'm not. Yeah. I'm okay. I wasn't trying to get into.
The bottom line, we're very excited, and we applaud the LPGA, for embracing and understanding the environment and capitalizing on a way to put their sports in the forefront.
We will be watching.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We will be now watching your sport, which I occasionally, I enjoy golf. I'm a golf fiend. So occasionally nothing's on. I'll pop on the women's for a little while just to watch them hit some balls or whatever. But now I'll watch for 4 hours. I'll watch the whole round.
Now I'm a fan. Now I'm following with it. Right. I'm going to study it.
Right. Now I'm pissed off if somebody misses a putt.
Yeah, that's right. And now another thing, while we're on the women's tennis, I'm a huge fan of the college softball. The college softball World Series starts. They just had the Super Regionals. They start probably this weekend in Oklahoma City. That's great to watch too, man. That's a shit ton of fun. I've been looking for it, but I haven't been able to get a line yet. So I will throw that out there once it comes available.
Yep, the LSU women got knocked out, I believe. Was that the SEC tournament we were watching the other day?
No, that was the Supers.
Oh, that was like a regional or something?
Yes, that was the Supers, I believe.
All right.
Yeah, they lost that extra inning game, and that knocked them out.
Right.
But the regionals, that's really not the – those conference tournaments really don't matter. You got to win those games, obviously, to get into the regional. And, the regionals, and then go to super regionals, and the winner of those go to the – but the regionals and super regionals are independent of the conference.
All right. So we'll talk about we had a question from Quentin Ross on our Facebook page the other day, and it's funny because me and you and Dude were kind of talking about this the other day too, and he asked just basically what are our feelings. We're switching to Major League Baseball here. What are our feelings on some of the new rules for extra innings? And even Dude brought up something even to the effect of like what happens to the statistics with this guy that's on second base, who gets the earned run, isn't an earned run, all this kind of stuff. Do you and I've always been Webb like a win-loss guy. Did you win the game? Did you lose the game?
Right,
I'm not that concerned with the stats or the history of this runner, but he did spring up. He said for the entire lifetime of Major League Baseball,
absolutely,
a run was attributed to some pitcher, whether it's an earned, so there's stats guys in this life, and there's not so much. So what are your thoughts on this? The new overtime rule, extra inning rules for baseball, and
baseball, it's archaic, clearly. I could care less where these run, but it's even weird. Like if you come in and you're a pitcher, and there's a dude on first base, and you give up a home run, you only get one of those runs. So there's other shit that's funky any fucking way, and there's no other sport that's so geek driven than baseball. I do not like the extra inning rule, putting a man on second. I don't know why we just can't play baseball. It just seems like it's a carnival. It's pretty arbitrary. Nick Barone said he loves it. I do not like it at all. Not for any of the reasons that we're talking about, but I guess I don't know. That's a great question. I get, and like both Quentin and O'Dude did say, yes. I mean, it would have to be attributed to somebody. It would not be. It doesn't as the other rulings go. It would not be attributed to the pitcher who gives up the hit that run scores on. So I don't know. Maybe it was a pitcher of the last inning, but how would they do that? Because he didn't put him on there. It's not his runner.
That's why I don't give a shit either way.
I care less.
I like, to be honest, I think it adds a bit of excitement having the extra guy on second base. It does to me. But then, so they're doing this. Well, I think they did it during the bubble or during the COVID to try and make the games a little faster,
shorter. Absolutely.
But also it adds a bit of excitement having a guy on second base ready to go. I don't care.
Jacks up the pressure.
We've talked about the book, the unwritten rules, the written rules.
Ridiculous.
I don't care about that shit.
Right.
Charge the run to nobody. I don't care. I don't care. I
Doing.
don't know who wins.
It must not be charged to anybody.
Well, I don't think it does get charged to anybody.
Right. But I wonder. I get this brought up another thing. I mean, I was talking to another friend of mine. Nick had a party the other night. Like, how many times has anyone ever bunted that runner over? And I wonder how many times. And I wonder how many times that runner has scored. I mean, has it ever? Is it like almost automatic that happens? Does it score almost all the time and the game ends? But
I can tell you almost certainly as a fan, when they get that run in, you don't feel like when you go to extra innings in the old days, if a team comes up in the top of the 10th and gets the run in,
it's over.
We're fucked. The game is fucking over.
Yep.
Now it's almost like, there is a part of you that goes, well, that's no big deal. All we need is a fucking hit.
Right.
You know, in the bottom of the inning. But to me, the problem with it is that the game is so fucked up. You get a team like the Yankees, and they come up with a man on second with nobody out, and they have 3 strikeouts. Guys trying to hit a 2-run home run.
That's my point. Right. There's no one playing any small, but there's no one moving those runners over. Right. So it almost doesn't even. It's almost irrelevant. You're going to win by 2 anyway.
Right.
So the dude's going to hit the dude's doing the same swing. Aaron Judge is going to hit a solo shot, or I guess it does matter if it's a 2-run shot in the top of the 10th versus a solo shot. But it's not changing how he approaches his at bat.
And it's there's nobody doing that move. Like, it could add so much intrigue. Like, how are they going to do this? Because all you need is 2 fly balls. You don't need a hit. You need a ground ball to the right side and a fly ball. Right. You need a bunt. You don't even need the bunt to move them over. You got a ground ball to the right and a fucking fly ball.
Even a fly,
and so many times when you're watching it and they don't get their run, and you're like, how the fuck can you not at least have a run?
Is that right? There's no way you should be winning.
The worst is when they don't score in the top and your team's in the bottom, and you're like, well, this game's over. We won this shit. And they don't get the run in.
Yep. Oh, Jesus Christ. Right. Holy shit. Right.
You know, they don't even small ball it when it's the bottom of the inning.
Right.
You know, so you don't even need a hit.
Right. To win the game. Right.
I want to throw props out, Webb, to DeGrom. This dude fucking is unbelievable. So those of you that don't bet stupid shit all the time like we do, over-unders in baseball, usually I would say an average is 8 to 9 as an over-under in baseball, depending on who the pitcher is usually.
American League with the DH tire, typically.
When they're real low, it'll be like 7, 7.5. 7, 7.5. You know, it'll go up to 9.5.
Back in the day, you'll see 6.5 with Kershaw against Verlander or something like that. Rare.
So I'm turning on this game the other day, and I think the Mets were playing in the afternoon, and I'm like, well, I wonder what the number is, the over under, you know, and I look and it's 6. But actually, I wasn't even looking. I just saw that it was 6. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. I'm gonna take over. Yep. I know it's DeGrom, but 3-3, you win.
Right.
If he's, you know, I know it's DeGrom. So I go back just real quick before I try to get something in. I'm like, I did a little background of DeGrom, and for the last 5 starts, Webb, he's given up 3. Like, and this was a few days ago, so maybe somewhere. I don't think he's had a bad start in between now and the time I looked, but it was 5 starts. He had given up 3 earned runs in his last 5 starts. Total. And I was like, well, I guess I'm staying away from that.
That's right.
But I was almost going to bet over just because I was like, this is, you know, nowadays with 7.5 is like the low. Occasionally you might see a 7. Yep. You might see a 7.
And that'll be juiced up too. There'll be some extra juice on it.
Right, but this wasn't even 6.5. This was 6 even, you know, maybe a little juice, whatever. Right. But I was like, I'm jumping on this. I mean, I know it's DeGrom, but shit, he's gonna pitch 6, 7 innings. So you got a couple.
Well,
innings.
That's the other thing. He doesn't. Right. I mean, his innings. They just got to let the guy pitch, man. And he's so fluid. It's flawless. He makes it look, you know. Back in the day, when you saw Clemens pitch or somebody like they were that, or even like Nolan Ryan and those guys, like they were, you seeing like they were working. This dude just kind of, you know, moves back to the side, zoom, 99. The one start I watched, he started, it was 100, 99, 100, 100, 99 or something on his first 4 pitches, 5 pitches. It's crazy.
Yeah. Unbelievable. And unbelievable stats. Like I said, I was like, man, 6, I'm getting in on this. It's an afternoon game. I'll bet the over the Mets. Right. I gotta hope they get 4.
Right, you need 1 hit.
Easily the Mets could score 7 on their own.
Right, exactly. Mets score 6, win 6-1. Perfect.
Right. He wasn't pitching against Nolan Ryan. It was just some other dude, another decent dude. But I mean, couple guys gets a couple runs.
Absolutely. They're saying the Mets ain't scoring. Right. He's going to give up 1, and the Mets ain't going to get 5. He ain't going to get 6.
Right. And if you want one tip on our goofy bets, I want to put this out there. They have the no runs in the first inning. Marlins, whoever they're playing, they have good pitching and they don't score a lot of runs.
Can't score.
We've been on, I think, every day this week. Obviously, and they're usually juiced up, maybe minus 150, minus 160. But they are not losing 1.5 of the times. You know what I mean? They'll go 3 games of no score in the first and win, and maybe lose 1.
If you win 2, and if you go 3-1, you're in the plus for sure.
Right. If you go 3-1, you're in the plus.
You made money.
Right.
Yep.
And maybe they do it twice in a week. Maybe not. You know, but no runs first Marlins. That's
one again today.
It's been working. Won again today.
Already. Money in the bank.
Done. 10-minute bet. 10-minute bet.
It's beautiful. There's not a better bet in the world.
10-minute bet. And it's intense. It's intense.
It's worth it. It's a good bet.
Guy leads off with a double, you're shitting.
Your pants. Absolutely. But you know he ain't going to bunt. So you're like, all right, let's see the strike out here.
Right. They're not going to move him over. It's fine.
Right.
He let off double. He'll settle down. Let's get out. Let's get him out.
You're hoping out. They walk him. All right, I got a double play ball.
You're right. Boom, boom, boom. Out of the inning.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's great.
All right. The worst is those bottom of his first 2 out home runs. Right.
Yeah.
That'll get you.
Then the next thing you know, you're in the 4th inning. It's 1-0.
Right. But hey, that's living.
Really,
that's living. It's living.
Hey, it's what we do. It's what we do.
So, Webb, did we talk about? I like to talk about the Jets every week if we can. Now that we have a story every week,
bro, there's something worth talking about.
Did we talk about the quarterback last week and his newfound interest in traffic in New Jersey?
I don't think we got. No, I don't think we mentioned. We did talk about his mom. I think.
Yeah, we talked about his mom last week, but Webb, apparently he's having a hard time adjusting to the traffic.
I guess
in New Jersey. He said he gets run off the road like every other day in New Jersey.
Deep that he's getting the finger. He's not driving a horse and buggy. That's what the fucking problem is.
Right.
And why is he driving? That motherfucker. They should put him wrap him in cellophane.
They don't driving to.
They don't got him drive back and forth to practice.
If you live in New Jersey, where are you driving to?
Right.
You don't have a guy for that?
Right. You don't even know where you're going anyway.
In the back of a Yukon. Whatever the fuck it is.
Exactly.
And text your shit, get with your agent, figure out do your business in the day on the way.
Uber XL, motherfucker. Right. I mean, can you get a car service?
But he has a probably.
Jets. Jets can't get him to and fro. Come on. Or he's got to be. I mean, he's got to live in with ears. He could probably throw a football from where he lives to the practice facility. He's probably out there in Morristown in some townhouse.
Tell your mom to get off the Just for Fans and fucking drive you to work.
OnlyFans, yeah. Tell your mom to get one of her OnlyFans subscribers and send a car for you.
Drive your ass to work. Mom, I have a ride to practice.
You'll get a couple tokens. Some free tokens. A coupon for a nip slip or something.
All right, so moving on. NBA playoffs. We talked a little bit who we like in the East, who in the West. NHL, Webb, I got that futures bet on Vegas. They got their ass whooped the other night. I think it was 7-1 or 7-2. They sat Fleury. I believe, Webb, hopefully he's back tonight.
They put the other goalie in. That's right. I made a text. Yeah.
They put Lerner in last week. But I'm thinking that maybe Fleury was a 7-game series against the Wild. Tough series. They knew they had 2 nights off in between game 1 and game 2. This week, maybe they just gave him a rest. I'm hoping Fleury's back.
Well, there ain't no way Lerner's going to be in the net tonight after that debacle. There's no way. I mean, that series along from over there. They're good, man. Vegas is good. Although I think on my picks, I took who'd I take? I took the Jets tonight. I took the Jets in the series, and I'm on the Carolina's my other pick. I got to stick with that. Carolina the winning, and I do like the Avalanche in the West. I got to be me and you go head to head on that one.
Yep. Well, I think Avalanche probably best. I'm hoping the Vegas can get past. I like the
Hurricane Avalanche, right?
Yeah. That's why. I mean, it's kind of like my Phoenix Suns playing the Lakers in the first round.
Yeah.
These guys early in the second round, they're already playing the Avalanche. That's the two. To me, that's the 2 best in the West. So.
My favorite bet there. I love taking over in the first period over 1.5. It's not nearly as money as in regular season. In the playoffs, it was very good. But now it's harder now. These second series, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, look at these. I think a couple of times I was on the Lightning, and who are they playing now?
Lightning are playing the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, and they're two teams that kind of do some scoring.
Yep.
And their over-runners have been 5. I've been taking a bath betting the over 5.
That goalie for the Lightning is standing on his fucking head, man. He's unbelievable. And then the other game is
the overs in that.
Winnipeg. I think there's how many teams left? Winnipeg and oh wow, ended the first. Montreal's beating Winnipeg 3-1. I won that bet. And then we got the Avalanche and Vegas tonight, and tomorrow night we got the Bruins and the Islanders, and then this is the East, and then the Hurricanes and the Lightning. So that's going to be a good series too. That the Bruins and the Isles. That's 1-1. Tampa Bay's up 2-0 in the series, and this is the first game in Montreal and Winnipeg. Montreal was even supposed to beat Toronto, and they're still playing. And then Colorado's up 1-0 in this game. It's a big game tonight in Colorado. Interesting.
Yeah, big game. You never want to go down 0-2, especially if you're the team that I got winning it all.
Right.
You don't want to go down 0-2.
That's right. Sure.
So, all right, we got anything else for tonight? Or
I got a couple of good things. A couple good. Coach K, I don't know if you guys saw that today. Is retiring. Of course, the Eagle maniac that he is has to announce it in May or what June? Excuse me, it's June 2nd, I think.
He needs that tour. He needs to go on that tour.
Just get a little build up. It's like the 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. He needs a build up before the season doesn't start till November. Let's announce it now. So I'm glad about that. I don't need to see his rat face anymore after the season. And then the other thing, you sent me something about the Stephen A. Smith, whatever you want to call it. Why don't you give it some context?
Yeah. So Danny Ainge today for the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Steps down from, I guess, GM or whatever they call the GM.
He was
over there.
president of basketball operations.
Yeah.
Okay. He was in charge of personnel. Absolutely.
So Stevens, the coach, moves into that spot.
Who has never really won big with that.
No,
team.
but obviously in that building, he's well respected. You know, it's just a corporate move up. I think they said he was read somewhere he'd been kind of burnt out on coaching since the bubble.
Bludgeons or something.
Since the bubble.
Okay. Again.
And so he moved up. So he moves up into that spot.
Well, Ainge resigned, and then in the same the same moment they hire Brad Stevens almost immediately. Like, it was all orchestrated. Obviously, it looks like Stevens really wasn't coaching. They do it. He's a smart guy.
It was an organizational thing. It wasn't like they went on some huge coaching search, some huge
no search.
GM search or something like that. They hired from within.
He's still going to hire a coach. And James has been there, I think, since 2003. So, and he did fine. He was there. That's a long time to be in one of those positions. So, anyways, they did this immediate move and immediately hire Stevens to take over this big corporate job, president of basketball operations. So Stephen A. Smith, what happened, Smith? I just saw it.
Well, he basically went on a rant. He was showbiz. It would be like if you now threw off your sunglasses and walked off.
Right.
He took off his microphone. He threw it down. He ran off the stage. Mad at that. I guess they didn't hire a minority. Or mad at players for not
that was
voicing.
2 parts. Yes, there's 2 parts of it, right?
Mad at players for never sticking up for minority coaches, minority GMs, minority front office personnel, I guess. But I feel like the players have been.
I think he specifically named Jason Tatum and what's the dude that's hurt? The other guy that's hurt. Not Kemba Walker, right? One of the young guys.
Celtics.
Yeah, he named them. He was making fun. He's like, these guys are supposedly woke, and they just don't do anything. What are they supposed to do?
I don't know what they're supposed to do.
And what the Celtics have every right to hire whoever they want, right? I guess they're supposed to hire. He wanted them to interview minorities for this president of basketball.
But if you got your guy, and if you got your guy in the building, that's the guy you want to do it.
Right.
It's not the same thing to me. You know what I mean?
Listen. I agree. I don't know why. And now, but even the first thing you're talking about, like I think even they said that they're even looking at Jason Kidd to coach the team and another minor. Like before it even, those are the first names rolling off their tongues. And this dude is like slamming down his thing and walking out. I hope he never comes back. That's my point. 2 good things happened today. 2 good things. Duke, the rat is going to go eat his cheese. I don't got to watch him no more. And then Stephen A. Smith is going to shut up. That's the 2 good things.
Do you think Stephen A. is not going to show up to work tomorrow?
Mouth almighty. No talent, hack. That's all he does. That's how he gets it. That's how he gets it.
Oh, that would be funny. I'm pretty sure Stephen A. is going to show up tomorrow.
That's how he does it. That's just all.
He's going to show up tomorrow.
It's all publicity. So
all right, but there was one other story, Webb. Now that you brought this up, and this was shocking to me.
Is this the NFL thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't read it until I delved into it, which is crazy. Yeah.
This is like unbelievable. So I guess they have these series of lawsuits now between NFL and former players.
Like a CTE issue and injuries post playing.
If you had
damage,
brain damage during your playing career.
Right, CTE. I like whether
you have Alzheimer's or dementia.
Mike Webster, who's it? Junior Seau. I think these guys are killed themselves. Even like Jim McMahon's all fucked. Like this Mike Webster, I think, killed himself. Several.
Obviously, it's an issue. There's no way you go through an NFL career without having some. You're very lucky if you don't have some brain issues.
Right.
But so the way I'm reading this, Webb, is so they have. I guess they have some type of cognitive test to tell whether you have had these issues, and it helps whether you have a claim for one of these lawsuits or not.
Correct. And there's a baseline.
Right. So there's a baseline. Apparently, and this was set up in the 1990s, I believe. That's what it says. The baseline for black players is lower than the baseline for white players. In other words, they would. In other words, if they come in now and their cognitive ability is here, and the white person's cognitive ability is here,
right?
They need a further drop to look like they have had issues.
What the bottom line is, they're saying from the jump that black athletes are not as smart as white athletes, so therefore the baseline for them is lower. It's going to be harder for them to prove CTE because they weren't as smart to begin with. I read it. That's how I read it.
I ain't no doctor.
Right.
I read it that the baseline set up by doctors, by professionals,
correct,
and the NFL, with the NFL doctors. I'm sure Goodell doesn't really know, or
I'm sure he trusts to where he hires the best doctor in the field. I mean, there's no issue. They just who's the best brain guy out? Who's a panel? What's
basically the baseline for the cognitive skills for black guys is set lower.
Correct.
As a rule,
right,
than the white guys. Somebody, if you read this something differently, I'm misunderstanding this. Yeah, please read this. It's ESPN. Please tell us we're wrong. The name of the thing is NFL to halt race norming, review black claims in $1 billion concussion settlement. So basically what's happening too, that part is the mind blower. That's the part that's the mind blower. But now what's happening is, so in the next test, if the blacks aren't low enough, so the two guys could be equal in the second test.
Correct.
But it means the black guys didn't fall far enough.
They're going to give the white guy gets the settlement and the black guy doesn't.
Right.
Because his baseline, because he wasn't as smart to begin with.
How is this not plastered on every?
That's how we're reading
it. Where
are
the NFL players raving about this?
I don't. Right. This is a legitimate. Like,
I'm fucking like this about this.
Right. I was done.
I'm gonna march off the show right now because
that's right. I'm done. Right.
I read that. I couldn't believe it. And like I say, maybe I'm misreading what this is, but I'm pretty sure I read it because I read it a couple times, I think.
Yeah, which is race norming, which assumed black players started out with lower cognitive functioning.
Right. And I want to say this was set up like this wasn't set up in 1957.
In offering more appropriate treatment for dementia patients. Yes, the standards were designed in medicine in the 1990s.
Yeah.
The practice had it made it harder for black players to show a deficit and qualify for an award.
Unbelievable.
Because their baseline was low. It's unbelievable.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Wow.
All right. So somebody look this up. This needs to be.
Maybe, yeah.
It's NFL, you want to hold the NFL accountable for something?
Right. How about this?
This
is it. Yeah.
So, anyway. No show next week. I'll be going to Destin, Florida, to the beach, McGuire's Pub. I like this place. If you're ever in Destin or Pensacola, great steaks, fun place.
Send us some swag, Destin. We need a sponsor. We need a sponsor for Douchebag of the Week. See what they call the drunk guy at Destin, Smitt, and that'll be our. They got a nickname for the guy.
The Destin area is already called the Redneck Riviera. Is what they be sitting by the pool. Be sitting by the pool. Some guy be spitting tobacco and shit like that.
Well, we didn't invent that term, though, but that's an old one.
Most beautiful beaches. I mean, as beautiful beaches as the Caribbean. Only right there, 4 hours away from New Orleans.
There you go.
So, all right, I guess that's it for this week. Good show.
It'll be 2 weeks.
So it'll be 2 weeks. We'll be back the week after. I'm sure we'll have tons of douchebags.
There's going to be shit that happens. There's going to be a douchebag that one-ups another douchebag and one-ups another douchebag. So there'll be many.
Feel free to reach out for us. We look for nominations for the name,
sponsorships.
Also, nominations for the guy, the gal, the fan base.
Right. We had oven mitts. We've already had oven mitts. We've had the complete generalization of fans in sports.
Right. So, and you're welcome, Eagles fans, because it was gonna be a Philly,
Roasted.
it was gonna be a Philly fucking throwdown, but every other, apparently, the fans these days just are out of it. People don't know how to act. People don't know how to act. So, all right, watch us. Thank you, John Grow, C Really, Lil Saint the Goat. Check us out on everywhere podcast, YouTube. Devin's gonna tell you about YouTube.
Hey guys, it's Devin. Make sure you subscribe to the Wager Makers podcast on YouTube, like all their videos, and click that bell so that you turn on your post notifications and you never miss another video.
Reach out to us on all the social media, thewagermakers@gmail.com. Thank you all for listening. See you in 2 weeks at episode number 93. Webb, take us out.
Brick by brick, baby. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Listen, if you like what you hear, tell a friend. Let them tell a friend. I listen to a lot of these sports shows, and we're just as good, man. If it's anything you want us to cover, please let us know. We would love to blow up here a little bit. So me and Smitt are tired of working here. So we love to talk shit on this in my garage in front of this camera, if possible. So help us out. Thanks for listening, everybody. Brick by brick, always.
Welcome to the Wager Makers podcast with Web and Smitt.
Yeah. Hey, shout out Wager Maker Podcast.
Brick by brick, baby.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Here comes the Wager Maker
Here I go.
Express.
I hear y'all sick of losing money cause y'all don't know how to bet. Better hit that Wager Maker Podcast with Smitt and Webb. They gon' show y'all how to do this. Take these notes like y'all some students. Y'all can't seem to pick them right. Well, tonight y'all lucky night. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. Wager Maker Podcast. Wager Maker Podcast. Your bookie getting sick cause we built this brick by brick. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. Come and place your bets with that WM Express. Let's go.